Growing up, I was always the tall, lanky, skinny kid. I lacked the confidence that I have today, and I could never figure out how to break out of that mold. It wasn't around late into high school that I started working out with my friends and immediately fell in love with the gym. I would go every single day and lift as hard as I possibly could, and I honestly started to see a little bit of progress. And I wish I could say from that point up until now, I made consistent progress the whole time, but that just simply isn't the case. The reality is my lack of knowledge caused me to leave so many gains on the table, and I made so many mistakes that I'd love to be able to go back in time and warn myself about. Looking back though, all the mistakes that I made over the years were kind of worth it because now I can share them with you guys. So I've put together the 3 biggest fitness mistakes and exactly how you can avoid them. The first one is not tracking your food properly. Your diet when it comes to building muscle is like 80% of the work, and for a long time I didn't take it seriously at all. When I first started out, I had no idea about calorie surplus or protein, and whilst over time I learned these things, I missed out on a lot of progress during this time. You need to be tracking your calories and macros to be able to understand if you're fueling your body correctly, and to be able to not only perform in the gym, but recover from it too. Some days I was eating way under my protein goal, and other days I'd hit up KFC and blow my calories by 1,000, which resulted in very inconsistent progress over a long period. But once I started weighing my food and tracking with apps like MyFitnessPal, building muscle became way more consistent and manageable. And I see this with a lot of skinny guys that they think they're eating enough, but because their appetite is small, they end up eating like 2,000 calories and thinking it was 5,000. And that's easily avoidable if you take the time to track the food. You might be super motivated to work out and lift heavy, but if you're not doing the other half of the equation, your progress is gonna plateau and you won't be able to get to that next level. And the next one goes hand in hand with this, and it's not progressively overloading. For a long time, my bench was stuck at 95 kg and I couldn't figure out why. Not only this, I didn't see any changes in my physique or strength with other lifts. Looking back, it was because every week I'd go into the gym and lift the same weight for the same reps, not pushing past my limit. I'd get to my 10th rep and say, yep, set, done, and drop the weight, even if I had way more reps in the tank. And that's simply because I didn't understand progressive overload. You need to be pushing yourself to do heavier weight or more reps with the same weight on roughly a weekly basis. You're not going to see the results every week, but that's fine because it's more about applying an amount of stimulus to the muscle that's going to make it grow, and pushing that limit all the time will do that. Try and increase either weight or reps with good form each week, and your body will react by growing the muscle needed to compensate. And by the time I'd figured out mistakes 1 and 2, I was 18 years old and off into the real world. Which is great, right? Plenty of freedom. You think I'd make way more gains. Except I didn't. Because mistake number 3 is the lifestyle choices that I made. I was in uni hanging out with people that love to drink and party and stay up late. And honestly, I began to love these things too. And having fun and partying is fine and all, but when you're doing it every single weekend or sometimes multiple times a week, it will destroy your progress. In my first year of uni, I'm convinced I didn't put on a single pound of muscle, and I barely maintained what I had, despite my training and diet being pretty good. And it was because all the alcohol and an average of about 3 hours of sleep most nights just ruined my body's ability to build muscle. So be aware that doing these things can get addicting, and if you want to do them, keep it in moderation, because a couple nights of fun could be holding your progress back by weeks. And it's within your best interest to surround yourself with people who have similar goals in mind. I found it hard to find motivation to improve when all of my friends at the time had no interest in the gym at all. But now having friends who love the gym just as much as me, it's 1,000 times easier to get into the gym even on those days I feel weak and tired. So your surroundings play a bigger role than you think, and you should do your best to put yourself in an environment where it's easier to make progress long term. I wish I could have shown this video to 16-year-old me so he could have avoided all of these mistakes. But since that's not possible, I just hope some of you out there can use my experiences to help you build your best physiques and improve your confidence as well. And honestly, confidence is a tough one for a lot of guys out there. So check out my video on screen right now about how I built my confidence and physique at the same time. And that's pretty much it. Love you guys. Peace.